What would you do if the one person you trusted to protect your family's boundaries betrayed you in the most unthinkable way? I never thought I'd have to answer that question until the day I found out my mother-in-law, Diane, sent photos of my children to my husband's estranged sister, Laura, a woman we'd cut out of our lives for good reason. That betrayal lit a fire in me, one that would consume the fragile trust we'd built and leave ashes where a bridge once stood. It started innocently enough, or so I thought. Diane had always been the doting grandmother, showering my kids, Emma and Liam, with love. She'd babysit, bake cookies, and insist on taking photos to capture every moment. I trusted her. My husband, Mark, and I had been clear about our boundaries, especially when it came to Laura. She was Mark's older sister, estranged for years after a toxic history of manipulation and lies. She'd spread rumors about Mark to their extended family, tried to sabotage his career, and even threatened to sue for a share of our home when we bought it. We'd gone no contact, and life was better for it. Diane knew this. She knew every painful detail. So when I saw the notification on my phone, a message from Laura with a photo of Emma and Liam at the park, one Diane had taken just days before, I felt my world tilt. The caption read, "They're growing up so fast. Thanks, Mom." My heart pounded as I scrolled through more messages. Diane had been sending Laura updates for months. Photos, videos, even stories about my kids' lives. My children, exposed to someone we'd fought to keep out. I felt sick, betrayed, like the ground beneath me had vanished. I confronted Diane that evening. Mark and I sat her down in our living room, the air heavy with tension. "How could you?" I asked, my voice shaking. Diane's face crumpled, but her excuses only fueled my anger. "I just thought Laura deserved to know her niece and nephew," she said, tears in her eyes. "She's family." Family? The word felt like a slap. Laura wasn't family, she was a threat. Diane's betrayal wasn't just a mistake. It was a deliberate crossing of a line we'd drawn in blood and tears. Mark was devastated, caught between his mother's tears and my fury. He tried to mediate, but I was done. I saw the photos in my mind, me children's innocent faces in the hands of someone who'd hurt us before. I couldn't let it slide. I told Diane she'd broken our trust, that she'd endangered our family. She begged for forgiveness, promising it wouldn't happen again, but her words felt hollow. Trust, once shattered, doesn't piece back together so easily. The next day, I made a decision. I didn't want to just walk away from the bridge connecting us to Diane. I wanted to burn it. I called Laura and told her, in no uncertain terms, that she was to delete every photo and never contact us again. Then I turned to Diane. I told her she was no longer welcome in our home, no longer allowed near Emma and Liam. The words cut like knives, and her sobs echoed in my ears, but I stood firm. My children's safety, their privacy, came first. Mark, though heartbroken, stood by me. He saw what I saw, a betrayal too deep to forgive. The fallout was brutal. Diane called daily, leaving voicemails filled with apologies. Family members took sides, some pleading for reconciliation, others accusing me of overreacting. But I held my ground. I'd spent years building a safe, loving world for my kids, and I wouldn't let anyone, not even their grandmother, jeopardize that. The bridge to Diane wasn't just burned. It was ashes scattered to the wind. Months passed, and the silence grew easier to bear. Emma and Liam still asked about their grandma, and each question stung, but I explained in gentle terms that sometimes grown-ups make choices that hurt others, and we have to protect ourselves. Mark and I grew closer, united in our resolve to shield our family. We found new ways to fill the void Diane left, new traditions, new memories. The pain of her betrayal lingered, but so did the strength we found in standing up for what mattered most. Looking back, I don't regret my choice. Burning that bridge wasn't about revenge. It was about protecting the ones I love. It was about teaching my children that trust is sacred, that boundaries matter, and that sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that keep you whole. Diane's actions forced me to choose between forgiveness and safety, and I chose my family. Always will.